Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another review in our Blue Sky series. So today, I'm going to review the sequel to Rio, Rio 2. Blue Sky's second sequel to, well actually, it's a sequel to another one of their popular films. So it's the only other sequel besides the Ice Age sequels in Blue Sky's library. Now at first, I had kind of a sour attitude towards Blue Sky. I didn't like Ice Age. I thought Robots was okay. Uh, didn't care for the second Ice Age. Thought Horton Hears a Who was cute family entertainment. I really enjoyed the third Ice Age as well as the fourth one. And I thought Rio was a mixed bag of a movie. Epic was by far the best movie so far that I've seen from Blue Sky. So, after having such an epic triumph, did they take one step forward, or did they take a few steps back? A few steps back. Yeah, Rio 2 is kind of bad. But there are some good things in it, like the animation. Like in the first Rio, the environment is immersive. It They did a great job making the the environment. It actually feels like you're in the Amazon jungle. And these birds, again, they look like birds. They look like real birds. The feathers are real bird-like. The textures are really good. I mean, this is some of the best animation from Blue Sky. It's definitely better than the first movie, by far. Also, um, the voice acting. The voice acting is top notch in Rio 2. There's nothing wrong with the voice actors. They all do a really good job with what they're supposed to do, and they get the job done really well. But also, some of the songs are pretty catchy. They even got Bruno Mars in there, so he does a pretty good job singing his song too, and we're gonna get to his character very soon. So, as far as the song goes, some of them are really memorable. And I'll admit, Jewel's voice is very beautiful. She actually, Anne Hathaway as Jewel has a good voice, and her singing her song at the beginning of the movie, like "What Is Love," that was a beautiful song and definitely a good way to open the movie. However, that's where the positives stop. Now, this is Blue Sky's other sequel to their other franchise. This is actually the only sequel from Blue Sky that's not an Ice Age sequel. Um, but if you're going to make a Rio sequel, then at least improve on the original. Because Rio 2 does the exact opposite. It makes something worse. Tried to look for other ways to describe it other than worse, but you know what? I can't find any other definition. Now, again, it's the whole plot, like Inside Out Fan 2001 has said, is a basic Shrek 2 ripoff. Um, the father, Joel's father, is basically King Harold from Shrek 2. And just like the first Rio, it's a generic movie. It doesn't do anything new. It doesn't really. In fact, where Rio was predictable, this is an absolute train wreck of a movie. This is. There is no other way to describe it. This took every wrong turn to the point where it had no chance of becoming enjoyable, memorable, or even good. It's not a good movie. It's a terrible sequel. The first Rio was really good. The sequel, however, it's a mess. It's like they had a lot of ideas for a Rio sequel, and they mixed them all into a blender and splattered it all over the screen and said, "Okay, that's your Rio 2. Let's get it on the big screen." it was agonizing to sit through. It's confusing. They probably could have made a good Rio 2 if they just had some originality, but they just took the lazy route and took the most generic plot they could for a Rio sequel and changed a few things up to make it seem different and unique, but in the end, it's still the same generic stuff. You got the rival Roberto, who's trying to woo Jewel and win her over, and kind of try to like separate her from Blue. The father, who's unaccepting of Blue, he doesn't like him very much. So he wants Jewel to be with Roberto, played by Bruno Mars. And then you got this whole plot where Blue has to fit in with Tribe. And, it's basically a ripoff of Shrek 2, like, where Shrek has to fit in with King Harold's kingdom. It is just... It's just a lazy, agonizing plot. I was bored throughout this whole film. Nothing was memorable. The villain's joke. It's just a guy who cuts down trees. He's a greedy guy who cuts down trees. That is the villain of this movie. It's so lazy and it's so nothing. That's what it is. It's so nothing. This movie doesn't accomplish anything new. It doesn't say anything new. And Nigel, he barely serves a plot. This is basic Disney sequel crap. Where they bring the bad guy back from the first movie and have him try to get revenge on the main character of this movie. You know what I mean. It's Return of Jafar all over again. But Blue Sky's version. And there are new characters, but you know what? Besides Gabby, she is a pretty cool character. Has a cute design. But a lot of the characters in this movie feel like they came straight out of an Ice Age sequel. Yeah, they don't look like they belong in Rio. They look like they belong in Ice Age. The climax was so boring, so forgettable. It's nothing special. This movie is nothing special. It's the same generic stuff. This tops the original's mediocrity. This makes even the first Rio look like a masterpiece. I'm serious. This is nothing but a predictable, generic animated film. But if you like the first Rio, no, you're not going to like this movie. Don't even bother with Rio 2. Avoid it for the rest of your life. This is one of the worst Blue Sky movies by far. So, I'm giving Rio 2 a 2 out of 10. Well, it's a good thing there's no talks of a Rio 3, because it can't get any worse if they just quit now. So, I'm totally agreeing with Inside Out Fan 2001. Rio 2, don't watch it. However, if you do like Rio 2, that is totally fine, but I don't. Anyways, see you guys later. Next review, the Peanuts movie.